Kris here, Doom Telly, episode 49, and it's a busy one this episode, so I've got a lot to get through, so I'll try and be concise, you know, my usual concise, where the video goes on for about fucking 6 hours, but I will be, I promise. So I'm going to give start off with a quick update. We did another gig this weekend gone, so I'll just sort of update on that, and then I'm going to do a High on Fire ranking. I was supposed to do a live stream this weekend gone with Cavernous Carnage, Dave, Johnny Mac, Rock and Metal Plus, and Trevor Hickey. But I had to pull out at last minute for, as John said, to wash my hair. Sadly, it was for reasons that I couldn't get out of, but all that will become apparent further down the line as such. So yeah, it was an offer I couldn't refuse. So yeah. So I had to miss the live stream, but I'd gone into so much work on compiling this and all that I thought, right, I'm just going to do my own High on Fire ranking. So I'll put a link down to the live stream that went out of it. It's a really good watch if you've not watched it as well, and a very tough ranking. But yeah, so I'll link that down below. So this is like a complimentary video to go with that, to make the full set, if you will. So yeah, that's what the bulk of this video is going to be. But first things fucking first, Green Sabre. We played the Blind Pig in Sowerby Bridge Saturday. Saturday gone. You're watching this on a Monday. Well, it comes out on a Monday, whenever you watch it, whenever you fucking want, quite frankly. But yeah, so we gigged Sowerby Bridge, the Blind Pig. Fantastic little venue. I'd heard good stuff about it, but yeah, until we played it, it's hard to get a gauge of it. But what a venue. Great little venue. Pokey little stage. What I did love, though, the backstage area behind it is through, like, kind of, you know, like the fake bookcase doorways, like a secret entrance. Absolutely fabulous. That was what made a 9 out of 10 venue, 10 out of 10. But yeah, so pokey little stage, not much room for manoeuvre. Let's put it this way: the Mighty Boss Tones would have struggled on that stage. Mainly, if you don't know anything about them, they're like a fucking 55-piece band. So yeah. But we were a 4-piece, so we had a nice bit of stage each. Cozy, but great. Enjoyed it, loved it. Fantastic gig. So yeah, Note from Huddersfield opened up. They're like sludgy, doomy, riff heavy, bludgeoning, yeah, stuff, like really, yeah, got like a Melvins vibe to it. There's a Crowbar vibe to it. But yeah, really sludgy, doomy affair. They opened the night and it was a great set, was that. I really enjoyed that, yeah. So, and a great bunch of guys as well. So yeah, off to a good start. We followed them and had a really good night. I think I only fucked up one bit in the solo where I tend to wear my little lightweight Vans, because without boring you with fucking details here, I use like a multi-effects pedal because it's just easier than carting a fucking massive pedal board around with me. So I've got my multi-effects, which does everything that I need. But the dinky little pedals, and they're quite close together. So I tend to wear like a pair of Vans or a pair of Cons or something like that. And I just got I got my docks on this time and forgotten much flatter. So when I ripped into my solo in Loss, I fucking turned the sound off because yeah, big clodhoppers on these tiny little pedals. But apart from that, yeah, it was all good. It was a really good gig, and I thought we sounded fucking ace. We only did half hour, but I really love that half hour set. Well, it's about 32 minutes to be precise, but I love that little half hour set. It's just really concise, and it just packs such a punch. We open with Loss, then go into Mountain, new track, and then finish on Fracture, which the recording of Fracture really doesn't do justice as to how fucking heavy it sounds live. So, but anyway, yeah. So it was a terrific gig from our perspective. Packed out a crowd in front of us. And yeah, absolutely loved it. Hamish and Kath came along from Godthrim, so it was ace seeing them too. We were all up at the front for Oak and Throne at the end. I got to meet fucking Scoot as well from seminal crust hardcore band Doom. So yeah, that was fucking ace. So yeah, besides that, we finished and me meeting people and all that. It was Lifer came next from South Wales, from the valleys of South Wales, and they were great. There's like a kind of there's almost like a sort of southern metal, like Pantera-esque kind of vibe to him in places, but not at all. Just sort of don't think that you're going to go and see Pantera, but they've got that vibe to him. There's some really hard-hitting doomy sections in it. And the great entertainment live as well. The singer, I forget his fucking name, apologies. But yeah, great frontman, great rapport with crowd, great bants, if you will. Yeah, and they were great. Yeah, a proper good set. And then Oakenthrone headlined. Oakenthrone are always good, and they smashed it again. They're just ace. I love them. You've got to see this band. And how they're not signed is beyond me, because they're amazing. They've got, for me personally, Jan's voice is just incredible. So it gives it almost that kind of Nwabam vibe. He's got that reach, he's got that level about him. Incredible voice, but it adds such a dynamic to it. And riff-wise, there's trouble in there. There's Confessor for me as well. But there's also some really heavy sections as well. They're just ace. They did a new track as well called Eternal Mountain. I might have that wrong, but I feel like that's what it's called. And that's bludgeoning. That's just a great set all around. It was ace. So yeah, overall, I won't go on too long because we're 6 minutes already. It was a fantastic night. Met loads of good people, got great feedback. There'll be more gigs coming out of it. Yeah, ace little venue. If you get the chance to play the Blind Pig, Sowerby Bridge, do so, because it's a great little venue. And yeah, is it Sowerby Bridge? Sowerby Bridge, however you pronounce it. Probably pronounced it wrong on the night, but yeah. Anyway, just southwest of Halifax. Lovely little place. So yeah, ace night. Had a cracker. And got it all to do again this coming weekend, this coming Saturday. Back in Halifax at the Greyston Unity, supporting, as mentioned before, Hamish and Kath, supporting Godthrim. I cannot wait. Got to know them all really well over the last few weeks. And yeah, they're just ace. Brilliant band. That album, Distortions, is one of the albums of the year as well. It's just phenomenal. I think it might be my highest ranked Doom album of 2023 thus far as well. So yeah, watch this space. But yeah, just ace. So I can't wait. This coming Saturday, 25th of November, Greyston Unity, Halifax, Godthrim, Green Sabre. It's going to be ace. Get yourself there if you can. Right, enough. So that's the update. I think I've done it all. Covered everything. Yeah. High on Fire ranking, because I missed out on this on Friday because I was unavoidably detained at the last minute, sadly. So, but watch the video. Like I say, there's a link down below for the original live stream. Cavernous Carnage, Rock and Metal Plus, and Trevor Hickey on there. Great ranking. And I supplied my ranking for it. So if you watch that video sort of throughout, they tell you after each one what album I ranked there. There's 8 albums, of course, I've ranked down from 8 through to 1. I'm not going to change it so it ties in with, but listening to, and particularly something Trevor said, but I'll get to that point at the minute, did make me want to rethink where 2 of them were. And it's kind of like a straight swap, but I'll explain that as I go on. So, without further ado, High on Fire ranking. I'm wearing the High on Fire shirt there, the Richard Price shirt, which I got from the first time I saw them live. I've seen them live 3 times in total. First saw them in Manchester, February 2013. It was a place called NQ Live up in Northern Quarter. It's not a venue anymore, I don't think. And it's literally next door to Affleck's Palace, if you know Manchester. So yeah, it was in that part of Manchester. Weird little venue with a column right sort of in the way of where the fucking stage is as such like. But that was ace, and they were on the Vermis Mysteriis tour. So that was the first time I saw them, and they were fucking electric. They were incredible. Saw them again. The next time I saw them was at Damnation, when Damnation was at Leeds, University of Leeds, in the refectory there. November 2015, I want to say. I did make a note of this. So yeah, 2015. So that's the second time I saw them. They were ace that night too. Brilliant night, but I lost a sacred thing to me. I had like a Celtic cross on a chain around my neck, and when I think they were doing the title track to Luminiferous, that kicked off. Now me and my brother were stood well enough back from where it all kicked off. Well, we thought we were anyway. And then yeah, it all erupted in front of us or something. And anyway, this last sort of came round as part of the circle pit. I just decided she wanted to sort of grab me, try and rag me into the fucking middle of it. To which I'm like, kind of, no thank you. I only realised the fucking morning after that she'd fucking yanked chain off my neck, hadn't she? When she tried to grab me. So it had gone, I work at the university, so straight back in on the Monday, like, have cleaners found it? And they're like, no, they've got like industrial fucking, they won't have found anything that were on the floor. So gone, and it had a Celtic cross that had quite a bit of sentimental value to me around my neck. So yeah, that was, well, I think about it now, it still fucking annoys me. But yeah, it's one of them, gone. Take off valuable jewellery before your near circle pits is my advice there. The last time I saw them, most recent time, was at the Broodnell in Leeds. It was supposed to be in 2020, but with COVID and whatnot, it all got cancelled, but rescheduled for 2022. June, was it? I want to say June. Yes, it was June. Yeah, so that was the last time I saw them, and they were fucking incredible. Incredible. So yeah, seen them 3 times now, and yeah, next time they're over, I'll be seeing them again, because if you've not, they're a fucking great live band. So let's do this ranking. 8 studio albums, like I say, that's all we're going to discuss. There's a couple of live albums, a couple of volumes of live ones, but I'm not going into that there, and I don't have them on vinyl. I've got all the studio ones though, so you're about to see all of them now. My number 8, and before we start, and they said this on the live stream, this was so hard to rank because they've not done a bad record. They're all incredible, all of them great. I think the lowest I ranked was maybe like an 8.5 out of 10 or something, which was this one and their second album. If Dylan's watching, sophomore, I believe is the word we use. Yeah, their second album, Surrounded by Thieves. Great album. Just one of them where it's got less memorable moments on it for me than the others have, and that's the only reason it's something's got to rank bottom, hasn't it? And this is the one. This is the vinyl that I've got. It's like a swirly, dotty kind of clear with like aqua or whatever it is. Nice vinyl. Most of mine I've got are represses in some kind of snazzy colour. So yeah, you'll be seeing lots of snazzy colours as we go on. Very tight sleeves though, so yeah, might take me a while to get these back in sleeves. But yeah, there's some absolute rippers on this album. Case in point, right, I've made some notes. Eyes and Teeth opens, cracking track to open, a bit heavy as hell. Other tracks that I love on here, there's Hung, Drawn and Quartered, that's a great one. Speedwolf's my favourite track on this album, if I had to pick one. There's Thraft of Canaan, or Canaan, however you want to pronounce it. Absolute gems on it. And yeah, it's a cracking album. But there are 7 albums for me that are stronger than this one. So that is why that comes in at my number 8. The second album, Surrounded by Thieves. Okay. My number 7. And every time I look at this ranking, I could move them because it's like, oh, that shouldn't be 7. It should be much higher. But they should all be number 1, arguably, if that's going to be the case. So yeah, but my number 7 is the album that was just out when I started listening to him, when I got into him. 2012's Vermis Mysteriis. And I want to say this is the 5th studio album. No, 6th? 6th. Fuck it. Anyway, whatever it is, there are so many great tunes on here, and it feels wrong putting it in at number 7, but it's got to go somewhere, and number 7 it is. It's such a strong start, this album. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's 6 tracks all throughout it, but the start, it doesn't peter out, because there's some great tracks later on, but it just feels like there's a bit of petering slightly. It's such a strong opening that it's hard to keep that going, do you know what I mean? Serums of Lao, what an opener, just a driving, heavy as hell riff that never lets up. Great tune. Bloody Knuckles follows that, that's another great one. Fertile Green, which is what incredible live as well, if you've seen that live. Just fucking fantastic. Heavy as hell and driving. Motorhead vibe to it in places. Madness of the Architect, Samsara, the title track, De Vermis. There's so many belters on here, but it had to... Oh, I'll show you what... this is a repress. Came out around the COVID time. The reissue, that is. Yeah, 2012. There we are. It's like a... What did they call it? Pinwheel fucking clear and red. So, yeah. Just a great album. Again, a great album from start to finish. And it's difficult to fucking So hard to rank these. But heavy, they said on the live stream as well, and I have to agree, they said like possibly High on Fire's angriest record, and it is. There's a real aggression to it. It's there's slightly more mid-tempo numbers on it than maybe you used to. Well, certainly than maybe you used to with the more modern stuff that they do. But it's just great. Great album. But yeah, had to come in somewhere, and number 7 is where it comes in. My number 6, and this is the one. They've already done my ranking, they've already told you what it is on the live stream, but fuck it, I'm going to make the change, because it was watching that live stream that made me reassess. And I originally had Luminiferous as my number 6, but Trevor sold it so well and reminded me of just how much great stuff there is on there, that I've had to have a bit of a rethink, and I've reworked it. Luminiferous is the not the previous album, the one before as such, like, and I'd ranked Luminiferous 6, and the latest one, and I say latest because it's fucking 6-year-old now or something, Electric Messiah, I'd rank that at number 4. I'm going to swap them over. So my number 6 is now Electric Messiah. I love this record, and it is such a... It's hard to say whether they got better as they go on, but they certainly have not weakened over the years. And this, I think Dave Cavanagh's Carnage said as well, it's possibly their most Motorheady sounding album. And I think that's why I ranked it so highly originally, because I love it. I just love it. There's so many great tunes on here. What's the opener called? Fucking Spewing from the Earth. What a great name for a tune. And a great opening. They do great opening tracks, so to High on Fire. Just a fucking belter. The title track, Electric Messiah. What else have we got? God of the Godless, The Pallid Mask. Freebooter. Freebooter is my favourite tune on it, and I will go so far as to say Freebooter is in my top 5 High on Fire tracks of all time. It's that good. It's just ace. Like Dave alluded to, Motorhead vibe to it, definitely. Just up-tempo. And the solo section at the end with the... Not boring you with the guitar-y details, but the transitioning from the riff that the solo starts in to the riff that the solo goes out in. Oh, it just outstanding. I won't show this one because it's just black vinyl. It's just boring black vinyl is this one. But yeah, Electric Messiah was my number 4. I mean, this ranking's changed so much over the last few months anyway, but is now my number 6 because I feel that Luminiferous has to be fucking higher. It just has to be. Since I've recently gone back and re-listened to it. I've re-listened to them all lining up for this live stream that I never fucking did eventually. But yeah, I just went back over it over the weekend and fucking hell. But yeah, so this got relegated to number 6. Some brilliant tunes on it, but not quite as consistent as the others. My number 5. And the debut, and where it all started, Art of Self-Defense. Now, this is a massive, like, again, a reissue, just black vinyl, but it's a reissue with a book contained within. There's, like, the gatefold, and then you get the book within it. Absolutely gutted, because I probably should have sent it back, but it turned up with a rip in it. I don't know if, can you see? Yeah. It turned up where it sort of got stuck. There's another fucking page in the middle somewhere where it, yeah. It got sort of stuck and, yeah, gutted. But, yeah, so absolutely gigantic in the collection. And I'll say that for fucking all of these. They're enormous. They take up half of... Can you see that behind me there? That's... All that's missing out of that is the High on Fire collection. That's 8 studio albums and a single that I will show you shortly. So you can see how much room it bloody takes up. Fucking gatefolds, but they do quite long albums. But yeah, my number 5, where it all started, The Art of Self-Defense. Again, such a strong opening. Baghdad as an opener, crushing song. 10,000 Years, then Blood from Zion. There's so many great tunes on it, but this one does have, I would say, slightly removed in a sense that you can tell that Matt Pike was in Sleep before this, because there is a Sleep vibe to it. And yeah, just fabulous. And great, yeah. And so it's got a soft spot for me for that, because it feels like that transition from Sleep to the new sort of High on Fire vibe, and so many strong riffs on it. I mean, every album's just like a fucking riffathon anyway. So It's so hard to differentiate one from the other in that sense. Just so many crushing riffs after crushing riffs after crushing riffs. I wish I had that writing ability that Matt Pike has. But yeah, so my number 5, where it all began, the art of self-defense. So my number 4, and as just explained, Luminiferous. What year is this from? I feel like 2015. Yeah, 2015. Such a strong record. It is such a strong record. And like I said, it's impossible to rank this band anyway in reality. And I had this at 6, and just sort of, I felt justifiably so. But yeah, Trevor spoke so highly of it on the ranking stream. I thought, right, let me just re-listen to that. And then I realised, and then very, very quickly, I thought, I've made a mistake, this should be higher. But yeah, again, just a black vinyl one, so I won't show you. But this is an original press, I should add. So yeah, original, bought when it came out, from the marvellous Crash Records in Leeds. Spotting my mug there. Yeah. Where to start with this record? So many killer tunes. The Black Plot, Carcosa, The Sunless Years, all great. Slave the Hive, another fucking monstrous tune. The Falconist. The Cave, which is almost a ballad if they're going to do ballads as such, like, but it's not. The title track, Luminiferous, what a tune. And it was that title track that I lost my fucking chain at Damnation. So disappointed. Maybe that's why I ranked it at 6. It holds like a crushing memory. But it's just, yeah, I won't go into too much more detail because we're over 20 minutes already. But what a record. And hard, yeah, that and Electric Messiah, hard to sort of say that they've not improved with age. They just keep getting better. I believe they're in the studio currently. One other thing I'll mention about them, with them, seeing them live as such, like, let me get his name right. Des Kenzel on drums. What a phenomenal drummer. I should have mentioned it on the Vermis album where he opens up into Fertile Green. That, just, yeah, amazing. What a drummer. Jesus Christ. And to see it, I've seen him live twice with them. Phenomenal live drummer. Gutted that he'd gone. I think he is on the last album, Electric Messiah, but no longer with them, which is a real shame because he's a phenomenal drummer. Great live. All his beats are just incredible. But he's been replaced by another incredible drummer, Cody Willis, who you may know from Big Business. And if any of you have been lucky enough, I've been lucky enough twice to see the Melvins lineup that had like the twin drummers. You had Dale, Melvin's drummer, and Cody both playing. And if you the Waterglass live, Melvins with them two drumming it, fucking hell, that's an experience. Yeah, so Cody Willis on drums now. So Des, amazing drummer, but they've replaced him with someone equally as amazing, quite honestly. So yeah, worth a mention that. So yeah, that was my number 4 now, Luminiferous. So sorry lads for changing the ranking at the last second, but it needed doing. So hard to do. My number 3, again, could have easily been my number 1. Their third album, Blessed Black Wings, for a lot of people, their best one. And it's hard to argue with that. Such a strong record. And I've not mentioned it. They mentioned this on the live stream and I've just remembered. Look at the cover art on some of these. It's just incredible. And that is a case in point. Look at that. What a cover. Incredible. I feel like this is a fancy vinyl, is it? Yes, it is. Don't know what you want to call that. Merge, splatter, greeny, orangey. But yeah. What an incredible record. All the way from the opening track, Devolution. I feel like I've seen him play that live as well. Might have been the first time I saw him. But yeah, it's just an album that starts on a 10 out of 10 and just refuses to fucking let up. Yeah, Devolution. Interface of Oblivion, another fucking great track. Cometh Down Hessian, that's one of my favourites on here. I've made some more notes as well. Silverback, I think that's side D, side 4, whatever it is. It's later on in the album if you listen to it on CD. But yeah, just fucking incredible. Incredible tune. Cometh Down Hessian I mentioned, didn't I? Silverback. And the title track, of course, Blessed Black Wings. It is such a strong record, so heavy. And just, this is their third album, you can feel they've found that niche. They've found that what is the High on Fire sound here. They were still sort of finding it, I feel like. Art Self-Defense, like I say, there's a lot of sleep on it compared to the other ones. Surrounded by Thieves feels like they're going in this direction. And this is where it all cements and it all works. Phenomenal record. Again, for weeks, this was my number one, in actual fact. And then it flip-flopped between the top three that I will now go into. And my number two, that was also my number one for a fair number of weeks, is the first album of theirs that I owned. And I owned it on CD. I've got that upstairs somewhere. It is Snakes for the Divine, sorry. An immense piece of work. They reissued these on fancy vinyls at the same time. This and Vermis. Vermis came really quickly, and I was waiting for fucking ever for this one. That don't do it justice. Them little dots that you see on it are luminous. They glow in the dark. So when it's dark and it's going round, it looks ace. It don't look like much like this, but yeah, clear with the luminous fucking splatter or whatever it is, dot work. Yeah, I was waiting 5. In fact, I made some friends on Instagram whilst we were all sort of like saying, where's the vinyl of this? We pre-ordered it ages ago. So yeah, still friends with them on Instagram since as well. Yeah, I feel like it was 5 or 6 months. There was some pressing plant issue. I believe that they were pressed at the correct time, but they came out sort of wholly wrong. So had to be binned and repressed, I believe. But anyway, that's my tale of tragedy for you there. So many strong tunes on here. Snakes for the Divine, Frosthammer, what a tune, just immensely heavy. Bastard Samurai, Ghost Neck, one of my favourite, if not, maybe my favourite High on Fire tune of all time. The opener to side C, Fire, Flood and Plague. There is a riff in that just kind of advances, that is so heavy and just so awesome sounding that I've listened to that track to death. In fact, I've probably worn out side C on this already. But just this, and it just advances with that double kick drum, and oh my word, you've got to hear it. You've got to hear it. Fire, Flood and Plague. My favourite High on Fire tune on my second favourite High on Fire album. Snakes for the Divine is incredible, and incredible live as well. They tend to end on it live now. It's like their go-to classic. But what an album. And before we get to my number one, I will just show this other one because Trevor showed this as well. The Bat Salad 12-inch that came out for Record Store Day. This is one of the very few occasions that I've queued outside of a record shop, and the one that I queued outside of was Crash Records in Leeds. I queued for hours. It was freezing. And there were a couple, I think I wanted the Lost in Translation soundtrack that they'd already sold out of at the point that I got to the door, but I came away with some beauties, and this was one of them. So it was worth queuing up. I think it's the same press that Trevor had on that one. It's like the clear with black, and there are some green flecks in there. You can't really see it with the light. But yeah, I queued up for hours, Record Store Day, waiting for that one. And it was worth it. Great little single. There is a... let's get it back in sleeve. Does anyone else find this? Oh, it's not Relapse, is it? I was going to say Relapse. Getting stuff back in their sleeves is really awkward. But this isn't Relapse anyway, so let's not have that conversation. The track Bat Salad, High on Fire tune, side A. But there's some amazing covers on side B. Into Crypts of Rays and Don't Bother Me. Into Crypts of Rays, of course, Celtic Frost, and Don't Bother Me, the fucking Bad Brains classic. Some just rippers. Great little single. So yeah, my other High on Fire vinyl I want to show off. Bat Salad, the 2019, I believe, Record Store Day release. And like I say, there's some great covers on that one. I entirely forgot to mention the great cover of Usurper that finishes Art Self-Defense. Shout out. Another Celtic Frost classic. Let's get to my number one. And the debate was so difficult. This is in such a tight sleeve, but it's a fancy vinyl, so I'm going to have to try and It's never going back in there. Death is This Communion. Their 4th album. Yes, their 4th album. I'm just crushing from start to finish. This never got lower in my ranking. Like I said, there were a lot of flip-flopping, but this never got lower than number 2 in my ranking. Like I say, that was only because Blessed Black Wings held the number 1 spot for a bit before I realised that there is more quality on here personally for me than there is on the others. Let me just show off the vinyl. Here it is. It's like a green, black, white splatter. It's a nice, nice. That goes with the artwork as well. And as mentioned before, great artwork. Look at that. What a cover. Possibly my favourite cover art as well. And there is some strong contenders in this one. Great inner sleeve art as well. Worthy use. I like to fucking complain about gatefolds a lot, but worthy use of the gatefold. It's just, you can get lost in this artwork. It's just insanely good. But yeah, God, where to start with this record? Death is This Communion. Fury Whip, which is the greatest opening track, not only of High on Fire, of all time, you could argue. It is fucking sensational. Goes into Wasted Tiamat, side A, off to a ripping start. The title track, Death is This Communion, another absolute beast. You've got Canrad's Wall on there. Turk, another really strong track. Side C, Headhunter, Rumours of War. A lot of people's favourite High on Fire track, and possibly my second favourite High on Fire track, just behind Fire. Flood and Plague off of Snakes, but what a tune, and such a Motorhead vibe to it as well, and it just keeps going. It never lets up, this record. It is sensational. I can't think of any more superlatives really. It's just great, and High on Fire are great. There's a lot of people out there that aren't aware of them, which kind of amazes me in some respect. I wasn't aware of them until 2012. It was my brother that got me into them, actually. Got me into them and Mastodon at about the same time. And it was like Mastodon, I don't know if some of you are aware, formed at a High on Fire gig. So, yeah, High on Fire have got quite a big connection with Mastodon. So, they don't sound anything like them, or not really at any point. But, yeah, just amazing. And, yeah, so that's my ranking. 32 minutes, so let's fucking knock this on the head. I don't think I've got any other notes. Yeah, I've told you about the live stuff. I told you about the drummer change. I told you about my favourite tracks. Told you about losing my chain to some crazy woman at fucking Damnation. Just an incredible band. I was gutted that I missed the fucking live stream, because I've been right looking forward to that. And unlike the Motorhead one that I did, which were lots of images, because I don't own lots, and I still don't own much Motorhead in the collection. Must improve that. I've got all these, and I'm so looking forward to, look, I've got all of these. But anyway, alas, it didn't happen. It didn't happen for good reason, as it turned out. But I'll tell you all about that, probably in the new year. Lots to report. So, Green Sabre update, great. Crow's Blood still coming along. I'm rehearsing Monday night with them again. We're going to hopefully, like I say, get that recording finished before the back end of the year. Get that done and then get that out in the new year. I can't wait for you all to hear that. And there is something else whirring away on the back burner that will all become apparent. Maybe you'll get to find out. It's a Christmas treat, or maybe it'll be later. We'll find out anyway. But yeah, I'm up to something else in the background. So stay tuned, stay posted. Right, thank you very much for watching. Thanks to my fucking burst of new subscribers as well. I've had like 5 or 6 even over the last week. We're at 156 now. So thank you ever so much for watching. I'll do my best not to fucking bore you to death over the coming weeks with my spicy opinions and inane fucking waffle. But thanks so much for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Any of you out there that are still yet to like and subscribe, it's all good. And until next week, have a good week, kids. Next week, again, not quite sure what the video will be, but there will be an update with regards to the Godthrim video. That's the Godthrim gig that is happening this Saturday, 25th of November, Greyston Unity, Halifax. Join us. Until then, I'll see you later, guys.